This is not a drill.
What's up, No Show fam? This is Joe G coming through with another episode of the No Show, and let me tell you, I finally have been able to come down here and record with my boy, my main man, Jeremy Breehne. Jeremy, say what's up for everybody.
What's up, my friends, No Show fans out there. I'm super proud of this guy over here and just happy to be a part of this episode. I think this is long overdue. And so we're excited to talk to you guys, hopefully entertain you for a few minutes and keep you tuning in. So thanks for joining us tonight. And I'll give you a cheers.
I would love a cheers right now. Long overdue. So Jeremy was going to be one of my first episodes, but kids, family life. He lives over here in Spring, Texas. Amazing. So just coordinating everything, and that's one of the things with this podcast that I found. It's not quite as simple as everybody thinks. Like, oh, get a guest, they come on. No. Scheduling, finding the appropriate times, you can do it. It's tough, man.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine, man. You got trying to figure out guests and topics and friends and balancing it all. I've got one of my little boys over here hanging out, and then
one of Jeremy's 20 kids is actually in here right now.
Yeah, so
wondering like what is going
I
on.
want Christian to make an early on appearance because hopefully he'll
come get on camera, buddy. Come get on camera. Come say hello to the No Show fam. Oh, you too shy?
Come here. But long story short, man, I am super happy to be here. Like I said, I'm proud of this guy. You know, when you talk about making an idea come to action, and I think that's what I love in life and friendship is kind of holding my friends and family, people accountable to taking it to the next level. And I've never wore headphones like this. I've done about
it sounds weird listening to yourself, right?
I've done about 1,000 web conferences and videos and with kids in the world we live in through the pandemic.
Hey, life changes, right? A little bit different from the college years. Yeah. But, you know, all right, so Jeremy Breehne, let me do a little introduction on our relationship. We met Northwestern State. I think summer basketball is technically how we met, sure. But Jeremy was kind of like, we're basically the same age, but I came to Northwestern State after LSU, so I met Jeremy, and he kind of became like my mentor, per se, for college. So we'll touch on some funny stories about that, but essentially Jeremy played a large part in this podcast and everything else, because we were talking about the other day, like, I used to always come with Jeremy. I'm a dreamer. I got all these ideas.
Keep dreaming.
And for probably 2 years straight, I kept coming to Jeremy, and I'm like, bro, listen to this idea I got. It's going to be fantastic. Well, I kept doing this, not realizing anything. And one of the pivotal moments in my life was, and this is the sign of a true friend, I bring him another one of my $1 million ideas. And Jeremy stops me. He's like, dude, you've told me so many great ideas. I need you to act on one. And it kind of flipped it. Like, all I do is talk about stuff. So not only with this podcast, but other business ventures, all kinds of stuff, I finally started realizing, man, you got to stop talking about it and just do it. I didn't know anything about this.
Did he sound like a Nike commercial right there? Like,
it
just do it? Like, are you getting paid
That's
to say
Christian,
that?
Kid number 4 of 20.
Number three. Christian Luke. I'm the third child, so he is my kind of kindred spirit as well. So that kid is awesome, man. Let me tell you about him though for a minute. He may be a guy we end up seeing in the Major League Baseball, and I'm not a false expectation dad. The kid literally wakes up and puts a baseball uniform on, and he will go out and hit 50 balls off of tee.
Without being told to have to.
Without me, I don't even need to go out there. I'm just like, I give him the thumbs up, and his swing is pure. He's a lefty. It's crazy.
And this kid kind of has that aggression mentality, which can't be taught, So, yeah, he might be a superstar, ladies and gentlemen.
You never know.
And
but I'm not
two former collegiate athletes here, that's a big deal to us. You know what I'm saying?
It's a huge deal, man, that he loves it. He's passionate about it. And I think that's part of what we want to talk about today is the things you're passionate about in life.
Well, me and you, we talked about this. This is all off the cuff. Me and Jeremy have not written anything down. We just two boys organically having a conversation. But we did talk about, what are some of the topics we may discuss? And Jeremy is the king of helping. It's a matter of fact, it's kind of what you do for a living, but helping find motivation to make people productive and successful and things like that. And that's always been one of your things special about you. You enjoy that coaching type mentality, and you do that with your employees that are under you. Sure. Jeremy manages how many people?
It's a smaller team. We don't need to.
But it's regional, so he manages people, and of all his great aspects, I would say one of them is just your motivational. Like, you'll come up with crazy stuff no normal person's going to think of, like off the cuff stuff. To do something a little different, step outside of the lines and find a different, unique way to motivate your people.
Well, I think you have to understand everybody's so different, right? Like, the motivation
exactly.
It boils down to everybody has a unique difference. And
it's not a one-size-fits-all management style, which is very cool, because I think a lot of people listening to this show, you can agree, our management can get a little stale and, monotonous, let's say.
I think people either leave jobs or leave leaders, right? And so
True.
The worst 4-letter word for me is boss, man. I am not a boss. I am a partner. I'm a sidekick. I'm a wingman, just like I am in you with our friendship. And
yeah.
I think that's what leadership is about. Right?
Well, that's super cool, but I'm saying that is not the norm.
It's not.
Most people get in this management or boss position, and it's almost like a power trip or you're not thinking on those lines. You're thinking, what can I do creatively to make each individual produce the most? And that's what it should be about with management. We all fall under the, just stale management style.
Sure.
It's, and you do look at that different. Like, he is not bullshitting. He literally goes to work every day with that. He doesn't want to be the boss. He doesn't want the people under him to talk like him or think of him as a boss. He is there to help promote you to be productive.
Well, I think that's the gift of leadership, right? It's not just, you got to get out of your own way in it every day. And I think it's starting to put others before you, and you think about what motivates and inspires your friends, man. They're your people. I talk to my colleagues more than I do some of my own family. And so if I don't create a culture of family, we're missing the mark as a leader. And I think that's the number one thing that when you, it's not by duping somebody over. It's just being genuine, be your authentic self. And I think people see that. You can't fake that.
That's right.
And I think that's the fun part about my job when I work with people from California or Montana or Louisiana. Shout out to my family in Louisiana and all my people there. But
he's still Saints LSU hardcore.
Who dat, baby? Who dat? I got a little
if y'all could see the whole background, you would understand. But we made sure to get the liquor bottles in the background just so y'all know.
This is my office, man. This is where I do it. And I told Joe, I'm like, man, is this an attraction or a distraction? So when you think about
the Marlin,
when you're in a virtual world, right? Because we all do a lot of this day and age, and we have to think about hey, we only have you as an audience member for maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Hopefully we have you for the entire 45 minutes where you guys are going to keep tuning in to Joe to not just tonight and beyond, because this guy is ridiculous smart. He wants to call me a mentor in some ways. He could dress better. Let me keep it real. But maybe design a little better. But that's where I got his back. And
yeah, more about efficiency and practicality with my dress style.
You're my counsel in a lot of ways. So that mentorship is two-way, brother.
But it is. It is. And
I love
you. And I got some things for you. But when he's talking about this style and things like that, one of our favorite memories, I got my first college apartment at Northwestern. My mom came down because, I was broke. I had a little part-time job. I ain't made no money. He made me spend it all at the bar. And my mom came down, took me like decor shopping. So, big deal. Went to Walmart. I got some paintings, some pictures.
Like you went to Blockbuster when they sold posters back in the day.
It did. I had no sense of style. But anyway, I get all this stuff back to the apartment, right? And I'm like, let me put this up, bro. I'm putting up my pictures and stuff. I'm like, I'm kind of excited, but it's not really a thing you can talk to dudes about. But I was like, Jeremy, man, hey, come over. We're going to drink a beer. I want to show you all this cool stuff I got from Walmart to decorate my apartment to attract these females. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy comes over, and I see the look of I see the look of what the hell in his eyes.
The dude, literally, I walked in his door, whether it was Walmart or wherever it was, he had one picture on a huge wall, and I think it was like almost next to the ceiling fan.
It touched.
I think the ceiling fan blade hit the damn thing, and I'm like,
I didn't know.
One little small picture. I'm like, who is the kid in the picture?
I did not know that you're supposed to like center pictures or bring them down like mid wall. I was putting all my stuff up adjacent to the ceiling. And he walked in and he was like, what is this?
Maybe that's something we'll talk about, man. Like, design is kind of like, let's create feng shui, man. Hopefully you guys like the Marlin.
The Marlin is what? That's actual called?
Yeah, so that is a exact replica, which is a funny story, man. If you guys have ever seen Hitch with Will Smith, after he swelled up. Like, I can tell you a story that'll have you rolling. Do you want me to?
It has to do with the Marlin? Absolutely.
You want me to go with it now? So
if it has to do with your face swelling up, I absolutely
back
want to
here, upper deck behind the Scotch. Maybe there's a tequila bottle behind the ballpark sign there. So my wife and I, we got married in 2009, June 6, 2009. Love Jennifer Breehne to death.
Jennifer.
She is amazing, and we went on our honeymoon to Cabo. And Joe, you've been to Cabo with us a couple times, right?
Several.
Several? Is it several? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we have worn onesies together on Cabo.
I literally held Joe in my arms with a onesie.
We might even
onesies.
When we edit this, I might even throw that picture up right now, but maybe not.
But long story short, I went to Northwestern State with a guy named Brian Henderson, who was my roommate in graduate school. And he and I went fishing with his family. Colin, my oldest son, I think was 2 at the time, and Brian and Jay have a son named Hayes. I had gone on 4 boat rides, long boat rides prior to that, and then in Cabo prior years. And that trip, Brian comes out, it's like, hey man, thanks for bringing us. I'm going to take you fishing. We go fishing and we don't catch not one, but we catch 2 marlins, man. So this is an exact replica of a blue marlin, 10 foot, 150 pounds. People are like, how long did it take you to get in the long did it take you to get in the boat, Jay Breehne? I'm like, man, I don't know, but it was at least.
I bet the adrenaline rush from just a marlin being on your line is insane.
It was cool. That thing was flipping out of the water, and long story short, jean shirts.
We did consider doing this topless, by the way.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad we didn't. We're representing margaritas while we're at it, so which makes perfect sense talking about Cabo right now.
Yes.
But we reel this fish in, 150-pound marlin, and they give you, I don't know what you know about marlin fishing, but when you get a marlin up to the boat, they have this gaff, which is a huge hook. They throw this thing in the boat. Yeah, and they're like under the gills, and then they give you a club, and they're like, hit it! And I'm like, what do you mean, hit it? Where? Like, I slapped the thing on the fin, dude. They're like, no, hit it in the head.
No, knock it out,
like,
bro.
So they're like, I don't even know how to do this, but they're like, hit it right there in the head, man, like right above its eyeball. And it knocks the freaking marlin out in the boat.
So it's not fighting you like it's 150 pounds.
It's 150 pounds. So as they proceed to tell you, if you don't hit it, people die because of the swords.
I was gonna say, look how sharp that shit is. It will stab you.
I'm like, man, dude,
I love the fact that you're like hitting it in a safe spot though, and they're like, no. Hit it like right in the temple, knock his ass out.
Knock it out, dude. It's like MMA with marlins. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I've been on 4 long boat rides. Nobody ever gave me a club to hit.
Dude, and that's one of the funny things about all of your first time like hunting, fishing adventures, because it wasn't just that with the marlin, where you're like, they put you in a situation where they're like, no, you need to you got to knock this thing out. Because I remember when you lived in Bossier City.
Oh, God, man.
He lived on Cornell Road off Swan Lake. Local people, y'all know what's up. They got a hog club or something back there. So.
I'm not a killer, man. I'm not a killer.
He's a lover, right? But you are a fighter, too. We'll get into that later. Anyway, so they invite him hog hunting. Jay Breehne hadn't been before. He goes with them. It's pretty much run of the mill until something happens. You want to take it from there and explain like how they were like, go, and you had to go save the dog. Like, it is a National Geographic.
I don't know if we have like fans out here that are like kill.
Nah,
dogs.
I mean,
dude, it was more like survival for me at that time, man. I went with a guy named Kipper and Otto. Welcome to Louisiana. Hey, Kipper and Otto show up and they're like, hey, man, you want to come hunting with me? I'm like, yeah, let's do this damn thing.
Me and Jeremy are a lot alike. We were having this conversation earlier in that if we're challenged to do something, even if it's something totally out of our realm of comfort, like we don't want to be no bitch. Yeah, we're going to do it. So I like to think this is one of those scenarios where like, yeah, I'm a man. Of course I want to go hog hunting. Let's do it.
It was my birthday weekend, and this dude's a carpenter, and I'm like, man, you want the job on my carpenter house? Yeah, let's do it. You better take me hunting. And he's like, all right. I was like, well, what kind of guns do I need to bring?
He wasn't bullshitting, though. He really did take him like.
And he was like, guns? What are you talking about? We're running dogs. I'm like, running dogs, hunting hogs. Come on, man.
And did he do the whole setup where, like, you have the scout dogs and then you have the attack dogs, like the whole system?
They had what they call 3 bay dogs. Bay dogs are your, like, Catahoula dogs that you let...
That's the herders.
Open up the doors and you let these things run and they put GPS coordinates on. And these guys, Kipper and Otto, I didn't know they even knew how to run GPS, from... the conversation.
Don't underestimate the rednecks.
Dude, they're awesome. Hey, man, they're like I got nothing on these guys, man. They've trained dogs to hunt hogs. But long story short, we go out there and the guys are, hey, we're 10 minutes in the hunt. The bay dogs already have a hog.
They got one.
They got one. And so you start hearing, oh, Joe, can I hear your howl?
Ow!
Stop it. Get some help.
Like, oh man, we gotta go because these hogs got tusks. So we take off running through the woods, and we're running with like these bulldogs, these huge.
That's the attack dogs. Like
attack dogs. They're like,
trackers get them, and then we come in with the heat.
They're not even pit bulls, but they almost look like pit bulls.
Right.
But they're like these huge, like Roman gladiator dogs, and you're like running through the woods and. You get like a stone's throw away, and then you're like, all right, let the dogs off the hooks or leashes, and then they go up and attack the dogs.
Well, I was going to say, but typically from this point, the dogs handle it, right?
The bay dogs are just keeping them handled, and then you let like the bulldogs, the fighter dogs,
Go subdued,
and
then
one grabs the snout, the other grabs the front.
But
you're like,
that's not exactly what happened with your situation, right?
well, it is. I didn't even get.
Didn't you go extra or something?
Well, this is the intro to
Okay,
it, Joe. So
okay.
you're jumping.
Sorry.
ahead.
I knew there was something about this
speed
story
up.
that
I'll
made
speed
me
up.
laugh back.
I'll speed up.
No,
So,
I'm into it. Let's go.
long story
Details.
short, so we get there. These Kipper and Otto get to the first one. They pull Otto or whoever it was, flips one of the hogs over, grabs a Bowie knife, and I'm
Like some Rambo survival knife.
It was
looking
like a legit Rambo. I
Yeah.
think I got my Rambo knife that my wife got me over here. Like, I should show y'all in a minute. But literally, like, boom, and you're like, oh my God, dude, what just happened? They're like yelling, get the dogs. And I'm like, dude, you just stabbed a hog.
All right.
Why did we bring a gun?
But for the people there's some of y'all out there listening to this that have experienced this. But for those of you that have not, imagine your first time in this situation. Adrenaline is absolutely pumping.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
You don't know what to expect. There's all this action going on. The attack, the Kip and Otto are yelling out commands, and everything's tense.
I was just going to like I thought it was almost like a social experience, you know. And then my brothers are both big hunters, and they've never done something like this, and so it was kind of cool at the end of the day. But that was
the dogs attack.
The dogs attack. So that's the first kill, and then after that, what do the bay dogs do? They go on to the next set of hogs because hogs
they looking for the next round.
Yeah, next round, and this is January 24th, which is
so freezing
cold in Louisiana.
Yeah.
The bay dogs chase some hogs down a canal over a little river that I bet it was 20 feet wide, right?
A big ass creek.
A big ass creek, right? So I get down there. I'm probably the most athletic out of the bunch, and quickest to keep up with the dogs. I'm like, oh, they're like, follow the dogs. I'm following them, and I see this river, and the bay dogs swam across the river, chased the hog, and it's a huge slope on the other side. And the bay dogs are like fighting a hog on the other side. And Kipper's like, my dogs are going to get killed. Help. They're going to get killed. And I'm like.
And Jeremy's already athleticism got him ahead of the pack.
I'm like, what do I do? And then by the time I'm there, I see this bulldog swim across. Its Kevlar gets caught on this huge log.
So it's stuck in the middle of the creek.
Like, it's almost drowning. It's drowning. It legit is drowning. And he looks at me. He was like, God, I got to get my dog. And I was like, I literally took off my clothes, stripped down to my underwear, jump in, and they were like, Rookie! Yeah, Rookie, you got it, man. Rookie's swimming across. He's got it. Dude, I go,
part of me wants to believe that it was planned, but there's no way that could happen.
I literally release the bulldog, a kill dog, off the log, swim over. Kipper's like, hell yeah. Rookie's doing it. I'm gonna.
Rookie is naked in front of Kip and Otto,
I'm like
going to save dog. But I love that your reaction was like, "I gotta help
save this dog."
Yeah, man. I don't want nobody to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, dude. Hopefully, it's like I can walk in it, but no, it was like at least taller than I am, 6'4" deep.
But you free the dog. Then
I free the dog.
He keeps on. I bet.
I free the dog. Swim across. He then says, "Hell yeah, Rookie's doing it." He takes off of his stuff, jumps in, swims across because he's worried about his bay dogs, not the kill dog.
That you just saved.
And we're all behind like these pussy willows. Did I just say that word on?
Yeah. That's a real term. Don't think negative.
It is, yeah. And then literally he's like, oh, hell yeah, Rookie. This is yours. And he hands me the knife and I'm like, oh! Like it bounces off of this thing. Dude.
All right. Again, let's take this scenario step by step. Jeremy Breehne at that moment
killed anything,
but he earned a redneck respect, right? Those dudes were like Kip and Otto, like he just saved our high dollar kill dog. Let's let him have the honor. Yeah. The problem with this situation is no one told you. What happens in this scenario? Like, hey, we're gonna hand you a Rambo knife. We're gonna need you to stab this thing bare hands. So they just hand it to you and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like trampoline off of the thing, and like don't be a, like
You had to unleash that inner.
it, and then I ended up pretty much throwing up because the adrenaline that after was pumping through my veins, like jumping in a freezing ice cold bath.
The temperature's all messed up in the body. Like, you just killed a knife,
and then you're like, oh.
And that's not the easiest skin to pierce. I mean, you gotta go a little crazy to.
Yeah. I don't know how did we get on this conversation?
Because the brutality of your first hog hunting experience. This ain't like, hey man, let's get a nice rifle and we're gonna start popping them. It's like, hey, have you ever killed something with your bare hands after jumping in a freezing cold?
I
always love that story because I can just imagine
it was terrifying.
The shock.
I'm like, really, dude? Like, there's blood all over people. It's like Roman gladiator. Like,
I picture him like showing back up at the house, and his wife Jen. He's like covered in blood. He's got like, frozen ice on his ear or something. He's like, I did it.
I was in shock, man. It was incredible. And the next day, my wife actually gave me a Bowie knife for my birthday, which was
because she had to make it official, and that's what I love about Jen. She's like, now that you're verified, you're a verified killer.
I don't ask me how many times I've used that Bowie knife since.
Never, but it's cool. It's this story that we just spent time on.
It's like a replica. I should put it on the wall or
buy the Marlin, right? Yeah. Let them know. So. Yeah. Jay Breehne been in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's my redneck past. So hopefully I got your respect out there behind the suits and all the other stuff.
Definitely a portion of this audience will love that story.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, but
it didn't. But it's just a great story, man. We've all been there, and. It's like I said earlier, this isn't something we've never mentioned that we were going to talk about this story. Yeah. We straight got on here. We're like, let's do a little 5-minute intro and practice. And we started talking and kept recording. So everything that you're hearing here is organic.
It's off the cuff. Off the cuff. We would, if people, audience, viewers could tell Joe what they want to hear, like I guarantee he could tailor it to meet the needs.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the challenges, right? Like I told you, due to your advice, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to plan anything out with this. I'm just going to get on it. I'm going to buy a bunch of equipment that I don't even know what it does, but I researched it. God. I got all the stuff. Every single episode is an attempt to improve, quality, sound, production, everything. And it's just kind of been fun to take that journey, but I never said I want to do a podcast for this niche market. Yeah. I just wanted another outlet, man. How many people have you swayed on social media by typing your point of view? None. But I feel like long-term conversation or, discussing something with your boy and being able to elaborate on it, or just people sensing that we are good friends. This ain't no fake show stuff. We literally we've been drinking all day. We did our football drills with the kids, got our family time in, started drinking, and all of a sudden Jeremy's like, hey, let's go do that podcast. And I was like, okay. So here we are.
Well, let's give you credit for this, because I look around at the equipment and what you've done is pretty cool, man. So let's give our boy some props. Let's share his podcast. I have told him that my advice is we need to keep him less can be more, and we need to begin with the end in mind, right? And so,
that's true.
So I think we're going to talk for a little bit longer, but I think we're not going to.
I'm not going to overdo it, man. We just wanted to get on here and just
say hello.
Me and Jeremy, I was like, Jeremy, you got to get on here and hear yourself talk. And so we're going to do just a little podcast. Ain't going to be too long. Two boys hanging out just like y'all do, or with your girls. We've been taking boot shots of tequila.
Oh,
and
speaking of shots, we're going to do a little Blade and Bow shot, man, which is kind of
some of you whiskey boys may know.
Yeah. These things got a key. I don't know if you guys collect all all keys or not, but
They're all unique or something? What's the key for?
yeah, if you collect all 5 keys, the distiller at Stitzel and Weller, where Pappy Van Winkle's original Pappy,
Pappy Van Winkle.
it's way overpriced.
Well, I was gonna say, because that's kind of a
But
dirty trick. If
they
like
make
they giving you a
bourbon.
key to unlock the bottle and you've
They
been
make
drinking, you're like,
bourbon,
oh.
they do all this stuff, but once you collect 5 keys, they will give you like and send it to them. They'll put your name golden and engraved in their cup.
Aside from
Which is cool.
culture, decor, landscaping, things that Jeremy really helps me out with in my life, he's also my liquor connoisseur. I'm pretty basic bitch when it comes to my alcohols. So
Yeah.
he's like, try this weird name stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do it. So,
We gotta expand our palate, man.
Hey.
You know, so bourbon.
And you know
is,
what?
There's something special. about
absolutely.
it.
But this isn't
Hey,
just
boots
a
up.
cheers to us. It's a cheers to y'all out there. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, y'all go grab
Salud.
a shot right now.
Yeah,
We'll
wait, let's
pause
give him
from-
time.
Y'all go pour a glass. Go grab a shot.
It's Saturday.
Tequila, grab some. Vodka,
Okay, tequila.
Go grab some bourbon. Shoot it, sip it, drink it. Just a toast.
And this is what we do, people. So, hopefully you've got something Saturday night. If not, hopefully it's a weekend, not a weeknight for you. But salute to y'all, man, supporting your boy. Like the words of encouragement, the people that like DM'd me, like, hey, man, I really like this. Like, amazing, man. It makes me feel good, dude. I really thought this was going to be me talking to myself. Had almost 10,000 views on that last one. That's insanity.
Let's take it to 20.
Yeah. So thank y'all, man. Much love.
Share the word.
Not
Share
enough
Spread
positivity.
the word. Share the word. Cheers.
Oh.
Boots up.
Whew. All right. Before we end this, though, we've like freestyled.
About a lot.
The one thing, though, I always want to try and do something that benefits the audience.
Sure.
Like, it's always awesome just, you know, people relating to us boys, just talking BS. But I did want to talk about something that I think will benefit some people before we close out.
Yeah, I think that's what this is about, right?
Me and Jeremy, like I said, he was my mentor, but that doesn't mean he was like a role model. We were some heathens back in the day.
Band of heathens?
We were a band of heathens,
Something
something relative. I've got some funny stories, but at our current stage, probably not appropriate. So I'll skip those, but I will say this. I think that a lot of normal people out there see what society tells them is successful and productive or this or that, or you got to be this certain way. You got to be uppity or bougie to make it and this and that, or you got to have this degree. Look, man, me and Jeremy Breehne cut from the same cloth as all you normal people out there, right? However, just by focusing on our talents, we were able to kind of maximize our production monetarily, with our jobs and everything. So Jeremy's a perfect example to me that somebody that came from the same cloth I didn't grow up with amazing circumstances, had no, heads up on anything. I mean,
Sure.
never given an advantage in life. But he did have this one talent of motivation and he was a good coach, man. I mean, you even were at one point going to manage our college star we played with,
Sure.
Dior Fisher, that went on to do big things, but he listened to Jeremy. A lot of people do. That's his talent. And you may, there are a lot of people out there, you feel like you don't know what your talent is, but it can be something minute. He was able to focus on that, and I would say without any direction, without any benefits or advantages, without nothing, I'm so proud of what you have become. This dude started out in an unknown world, pharmaceutical industry. Well, first, what'd you do before that? Just basic
Man,
the grinder stuff, right?
Probably cut a lot of grass, managed an apartment complex, and while I was in college, and
Yep.
just tried to keep my
Kind of
head up.
bartended, right?
Bartended. I've bartended before.
So he did the grind stuff.
Yeah. Waited tables.
Waited tables at the bottom.
I think everybody should wait tables. Man.
Absolutely, and it gives you
Parents-
respect for your servers, dude.
Teach your kids communication and service, man. And I think when you have that servant heart, whether you're waiting tables or something.
You ever been places
tough.
with somebody and they're like an asshole to the waiter? I'm like, I want to die. I took them extra if somebody's an a-hole.
Well, there's times that the waiter should step.
But you know what?
up.
Ralph and Kaku's Baton Rouge bus boy right here. Yeah. Like, I get it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Kaku's. I don't know if I knew that.
Dude,
about
we
you.
used to just stay back there eating the twice baked potatoes.
I love it.
It's what I lived on for a year of my life. Anyway, back on point. So, us out there that maybe still don't know where we're going or what we're doing, this dude didn't either. And you know what he does now? we're not going to get into specifics, but he started at the bottom of this company, pharmaceutical company, and now he is a regional manager expanding a big portion of the United States, in my opinion, pretty wide region, managing his own salesmen. How did he do that? He found his talent that he was able to apply to his job. And I think we can all do that. There is something that each and every one of us are good at, and we can use that, to benefit ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's what you did, and I love that about you.
Well, I appreciate it. I will say I am a sales manager of people, and I love my people. And having fun at your job is the number one thing that you have to find a way to bring joy.
But he ain't talking about that cliche stuff. Yeah, this dude, and that's why I'm envious of him. He truly lives it. Like, that's why I say when he found that certain talent that he really had a knack for, a lot of people may consider that like insignificant or whatever. He took that, maximized it where he was, and it led him into top regional position of one of the top pharmaceutical companies. And I mean, this dude's job is a dream job, folks. But I wanted to throw that in because there are a lot of people out there lost, not even so much lost, but they get caught in that pattern. I found a job, it's paying decent, I'm maybe living check to check, but this is all I can do right now. Yeah. I want people to know, if you truly apply, even if you think it's insignificant, your talent in whatever
what you do,
it can really pay off, man. Living example of that.
Well, I think you just have to show up, man. I think if the hardest part about your job is putting your car in reverse, you need to find a new job, and so I think it begins with what internally motivates you. And I know my motivation, Joe. I believe I know your motivation, but my motivation is my family, right? And my wife, my 4 kids, and the lessons that we can teach our kids, right? And I know everybody out there understands that. But what is your motivation? Remind yourself, pinch yourself, whatever it is. Create a vision board or a board that reminds you to check in. And that's what's going to keep you rolling.
If you caught my last podcast, because one of the benefits, I'm Jeremy's mentor in econ, politics, stuff like that. Like he'll come to me like, all right, what's going on with this? It's a little crazy. And we discuss it. We have great conversation. But, in my last podcast, I explained, people may think like, well, does he enjoy that? I'm like, no. I hate politics. I hate it. But you know what? Like, I think about Austin. I think about my kid and what we're going to leave him to grow up in, like an authoritarian or wherever we're headed with this. And it doesn't look good now, but he's just turned 11, man. Yeah. If it's this, and that is my motivation of trying to get people to understand, what I say politically. So,
sure.
Both of us, and I think a lot of y'all out there, family motivation, man. We want the kids to be better than we are, right? Like, I've known a lot of parents that they only applied what they knew to make their kids as good as them. I want all my mistakes and all the stuff I realized was not the right way growing up. I want to apply all that. I want my kid to quadruple whatever it is I do on earth.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? And that should be all our goals, man. We don't want our kids to be us. We want them to be better versions of us.
I love it, man. I think that's as a parent, that's what you search for, man, is to give your kids an opportunity. But speaking of things, let's change it up a little bit, man.
Okay.
I feel like we're serious.
We are. And I knew that, but I wanted to get that one beneficial piece to the people out there that think they dead end. Look, we all were given a God-given individual talent. Yeah. We all need to learn how to apply that to whatever it is we're doing to maximize, everything about us. So I'm done with that, but I told you prior I wanted to fit that in before we stop.
I'll say one more thing. Like, if you are in a job and you don't have a career ladder or something that you feel fulfilled with at this moment, and there's not that next step, it's probably a time to step out. True. And step out.
All right? It seems scary, but the risk of...
People either run from or they run to opportunities. Or they stay and because they know they can grow. So I would say, if you're in a company where you got a great opportunity and you got great leadership and mentors, stay with that. If you got a
take the risk, man. If you're miserable, take the risk. It's going to be scary. You're going to think, I may lose my financial stability, which little I have. Man, no, take the risk, man. Be happy in life.
Good people out there land on their feet.
That's
good
right.
People land on their feet, man. And I've never seen a good person not leave a job or and end up landing on their feet with a better opportunity. So,
and if you're serious,
be bold.
Take the risk, be bold.
Yeah.
Let's end that conversation with that. Take the risk.
And be bold.
Be bold.
Be brave. Be passionate. Be resilient. Be gritty.
Stop it. You turn
Be on fire.
Ow.
On fire. Like John O'Leary. If you've not read that book, pick up On Fire by John O'Leary.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. It's a guy that... Can I get into it just a minute?
Well, you need to plug it and tell them what to look. People going to listen to this on audiobook or something.
Yeah, you can listen.
What is it? Who's the author?
John O'Leary. It's a guy that was burnt at a young age that now 95% of his body was burnt, but he is a national renowned author and spokesperson. And if you ever feel like you're having a bad day,
somebody always got it worse.
Think about this dude, man,
bro,
and what he can do to inspire you. So,
what's the title of the book?
On Fire.
On Fire. By Look it up.
O'Leary. Yeah.
I'm gonna cap off what you're saying here with some of these people that I read their stories or listen to them on a podcast or anything like that, and I'm like, damn, dude, that is inspiring. Mm-hmm. Who makes me feel like a bitch?
Like BITCH?
Yeah.
Who's that?
David Goggins.
Oh, well,
have you heard his story?
The dude's
a beast. If I went full maximum gym for 3 weeks and thought I was doing something, if I listened to one little 15-minute clip of that dude, I'll be like, I'm not doing enough. I'm terrible. He is motivational, man. His story is insane. If you haven't heard... He's got a book and all that. I'm sure he's got his own podcast. But I originally heard him on Joe Rogan. And awesome podcast. But this dude, you want to talk about no excuses, which I think we're all guilty of. We can always find a way to not do something that we should be doing.
Sure.
Whether that's work, working out, health, whatever. This dude, no excuses, man. If you want to feel like you're not doing enough, listen to him.
Thank you for making me feel like less of a man all of a sudden. Because
I just wanted someone to share my pain.
Can I get Joe? Can I get Goggins instead of JB in here? Like, shit, dude. What do you want me to do?
I mean, we all jam music at the gym, like trying to get motivated.
And he'd put a Bowie knife in.
Yeah, I mean, dude went through like SEALs training 7 times. He's insane, man.
Rambo. But hey, I got a quick question. Joe and I are both. I think we're identified through our basketball love language, right, with each other. That That's
correct. And me and Jeremy, like, don't get it twisted. Me and Jeremy have won tournaments and stuff. This isn't some, oh, Joe and Jeremy must have played pickup ball. No, we legitimately competed against the best of the best. We tore it up.
Intramurals in college is the best of the best. So
the available competition.
I feel you.
Did we not in the championship game play against actual Northwestern State players?
We did play against NCAA athletes.
I just David Goggins that ass.
You did David Goggins me, but we talked about something earlier that I think I would ask your viewers out there. If you could form an all-time NBA basketball team with all the players.
Anything available?
Anything available. Who would you take and why? And I want to understand, like, point guard. If you're not a basketball fan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is going to be uninteresting.
But we'll get through it quick.
I think people can relate to this one point I want to make about this question. I may be biased because
aren't we all?
Today's players, to me, just don't have the heart and the passion of what we grew up with. Maybe that's like a oldies thing, and I'm probably getting old, but the no-lose mentality of a Jordan, even Kobe, to be honest, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Kobe, like the Mamba mentality, bro, he's staying later in their body, he's working hard in their body, like, I can respect that.
Yeah.
But those players, think about
Is he in your top five? Is he in your top 5?
Who?
Kobe.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I put him right behind Jordan, second best ever.
He's your point guard, or is he shooting guard? Who is he?
See, but that's a problem. Kobe and Jordan are both in shooting guard, and I'm taking MJ every time.
All right, so you can mix it up. I said 5. I didn't ask you to put them in positions.
Do we consider Steph Curry point guard?
I consider Steph Curry a three-point assassin.
Best three-point shooter ever, probably.
Yeah, hands down. I don't.
But you know what? All right, the true nature of a point guard isn't necessarily scoring, though, is it?
The assist king.
Who's the assist king?
John
Stockton.
John.
And it's by a long shot. I'm pretty sure. Y'all can fact check me on that. How do you not throw Stockton or one of these assist leaders as your point guard?
Yeah, I want a guy that can deliver the ball.
Yeah.
What's he do on defense? Do you know? Does he have some steals?
I mean, do we remember Jordan's point guard? B.J. Armstrong?
Or
part of it?
Kerr,
Paxton.
yeah.
None of those were like a super assist guys. I mean, they were more role players, I would say. So imagine if you could put a true assist guy. I'm not looking for scoring out of my point guard. Yeah. I want a feeder. And if I've got like somebody like MJ at shooting guard and I got John Stockton, the all-time assist leader, throwing to him, I think I'm taking that pair.
I'm going to ask Joe one more time to answer this question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus like giving me the backstory on every damn play. 1 through 5, who's it going to be? So it sounds like Jordan and Stockton. We got
Stockton point guard. Right. Jordan shooting guard. My small forward.
This is going to be interesting.
Again,
I bet he goes with LeBron.
The legend. I hate LeBron. I think just out of even though LeBron's obviously probably top 3 best players, GOATs, I can't stand him, dude. So just out of my hatred for him, I'm going to kind of bias pick and give me Larry.
Larry the legend?
No, Larry the legend. Not exactly the most athletic.
Dude, have you seen
but got in everybody's head. He can pass, he can throw, he can shoot. He can do it all.
Player.
You know? And remember, I'm trying to build around team chemistry. I'm not necessarily picking the best at each position. Power forward, how do I pass up Tim Duncan?
Captain Fundamental. I love that, man.
Bro, scoring defense.
Yeah,
he just played the role. I got to go there. And then center. I've got Jordan, and I've built my team around kind of feeding and working off Jordan, but I need another power. Wilt is definitely a respectable pick, but I need the most dominant offensive center in history. Less free throws.
Who scored?
And my LSU Tiger, Shaquille O'Neal. Give me these 5. I'm beating anything anybody picks, bro. Because the mistake everybody else going to make is they're going to pick maybe the top stats guy in every. No, I'm building my chemistry. You know?
I like your chemistry there. That's a good team. I could probably compete against that with 5 others.
Who are you changing? Is all your or are your 5?
I don't even feel like I could take your 5, right? Even because they're already selected.
I know, but you got to pass on MJ because I picked him.
I mean, no, I don't want to. I think MJ's
all right. Well,
number 1
just as a challenge, since you are basketball minded, these players are drafted and off the board. Who are you taking for your starting 5 that are left?
I'm gonna go Wilt, the still
center,
Chamberlain.
Amazing.
I'm gonna get an athlete that can rebound because he's gonna throw elbows at everybody and just clear
who's that gonna be?
Out. He might wear a nose ring. He might color his hair. He might
Rodman, dude, I love
Madonna's
Rodman.
Man back in the day, Dennis or Carmen Electra.
In his prime,
how can you not love a dude that like Carmen Electra?
Oh, he's super bizarre, but aside from rebounding. Probably the best defensive player.
I don't need anybody else. He doesn't need to score. I just want him to get boards, right?
Dude, that's what he did. But who is a better defender than Dennis Rodman?
You didn't pick up Kobe, did you?
No, because I picked MJ. I considered them both.
I'm going to bring the Mamba, and then I'm going to bring Nash.
All right, I'm a little concerned. This is going to be a good battle.
I'm going to bring Nash over.
Steve Nash, the Canadian.
Point guard.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I might bring...
Who's your small?
Let me give that... Dirk as the small.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Let me bring in
That's a squad, bro. It's unique. I like it.
Yeah, so.
How we just got off on an NBA tangent, I have no idea.
No
but those are our teams. Who do y'all think would win?
Joe or Jeremy. Who would win in a game of one-on-one?
All right. Let me point something out.
Viewers out there, please.
Vote on this, man. We need to note in the comments because I really want to beat him on this. God, Jordan, bro, and Shaq. Oh, God. But it's going to be a good game. Anyway.
Oh, I thought we were talking about one-on-one between you and I.
We've played one-on-one. I held my own. I know you're a lot taller than me, but I got some decent inside defense.
Decent, yeah. Good. Joe's a baller, man. I'd pick him up any day of my life, man.
Dude, we did, like you make fun of it, but we had some runs as teammates because we played together.
And then we go to the park and play and
whip WNBA players and all that.
Diversity was part of the thing. Right?
Can I just say I was expecting a lot more when I was told that was a WNBA player. I think I blocked. Like I started letting her shoot out of pity.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and Jeremy, that is our stuff, and of course we're pushing our boys to be ball players, and we have all the knowledge to teach them how to be great. I just want that passion, man. I need that fire. You know?
How do you sell that? Can you sell that in this podcast and bottle it up and put it in a boot and give everybody a shot of passion? Or
so I'd like to thank our sponsors, Passion in a Bottle.
Yeah, Passion.
Y'all could go to the website, passioninabottle.com. And
Margaritas.
Margaritas.
So.
Me and Jeremy have like 20 businesses, by the way. But this is one of his creations, Margaritas. And as you can imagine, I mean, essentially the idea is a food truck that sells...
I don't know. I think it's the best thing you'll never have, but you have it at the same time because everybody loves a margarita or a margarita in the summer.
Do you remember what
and you eat a hot dog, right?
But do you remember what I told you that we're now calling hot dogs with this whole the kid talk?
What is it?
Glizzies.
Glizzies.
Margarita. A margarita and a glizzy. Margarita and a glizzy. But I mean, margaritas kind of go with anything.
They do, but it's like...
Especially when you're a friend and you're like, hey, tequila will go great with this banana pudding. I'm like, but I do it anyway.
At 9 a.m. this morning.
Literally, bro.
This guy.
Jay Breehne is built different, folks. If I have a hangover, which he can help you create, because it's all not affair. And here's what happens every time. Like, this is the routine. Everybody has fun. No one but me can hang with Jeremy, so everybody ends up passing out, and it's just me and him. That's when Jay Breehne decides yo, Joe, I like your music style. I like the stuff you can play. Put me on some beats.
Yes.
I'll put on some beats,
Man.
and it gets him in thinking mode. Jay Breehne, he'll start freestyling on me, right?
I can freestyle.
We'll end up doing that for hours, and before we know it, it's like 2 a.m. We're like, or at least I am. You're like, no, one more song, bro.
I mean, if you weren't so good at playing music, man, this guy is a genius when it comes to
Well, because I'll break out the
DJ.
guitar and we'll bust some beats too.
Hey, I want him to play the guitar real quick. Can you play me a song?
Actually, you want to do this now, or you want to wait till we
Dude, I
get
don't-
Joey on and we can do some Simple Man with some
Oh.
lyrics? And
If you want to, man. I don't know if everybody knows how talented of a musician you are.
I appreciate
honestly.
that, man. I do. And you're like my one
That's
friend that
unapplied.
loves.
Unapplied. He doesn't apply himself on it.
I don't like that. But Jeremy's my one friend that's like, he'll bring it up. Like, hey, you just met these people. Have y'all heard him play the guitar? Have y'all heard him do a magic trick?
Have you seen this dude on Magic? You're like,
Dude.
come on, dude.
It ain't no run of the mill magic
Oh,
tricks.
dude, it's not a middle of the mall store, man.
Maybe we do it. All right. The one thing I wanted to break out, I wanted to point this out.
Magic and music on our next episode.
True.
Let's do that.
But everybody that does
gotta
this,
cut this
everybody
off
that
before
does
we-
this podcast is like, how long we've been talking? I'm like, an hour, and you're like, feels like 10 minutes. Yeah. So next podcast, maybe we'll break out some magic and guitar, show y'all those unique sides. Eminem.
Magic and music.
Okay. See,
Uh-oh.
he's already starting to catch after this podcast ends, I'm going to get some freestyles. Probably with the mic on. I may record it for some outtakes.
If you want to, man. If anybody wants to hear
Hey.
it, give me a thumbs up or like it. What do you do on this? Do
Dude,
you like
look-
it? Thumbs up?
Yeah,
Do
you
like-
can.
Give it
And
a peace sign.
I
wanna hear-
never liked YouTube videos and stuff, but y'all, listen.
I'd like to hear. Give me your margarita, JB.
The people that come on this and do this is tough, man. Jeremy lacks that social awkwardness bug, so for him, this is not a huge deal. But everybody else has been on this podcast, man. It's tough, dude. And then I'm going to inevitably show you the replay of it, and you hear yourself on the microphone, myself included, and you're like, oh my God, don't air that. It's so embarrassing. Dude, this is tough. So don't be a hater, man. If you're watching this, if you enjoyed it in the least little bit, the support ain't just for me, man. It's for the people that got the balls to come on here and just share a little bit about themselves with y'all. Like, I think that's a major problem. One of the reasons I hate social media. Everybody's just in a hater mindset, bro.
How do we
ain't-
talk about like hog hunting on this like bullshit?
We
like, really?
both agreed that this was going to be super random and we were just going to freestyle it. So, anyway, we'll cut it off there. Y'all like it? We'll do another one. But peace out. What you want to say? Close them out, Jay Breehne. I'm going to throw some tunes on it.
Man, thank you guys. Thank you, Joe, for allowing me to participate in this.
Hey, this is my boy for life.
Till the next episode, baby. So that's what I'm
do
going to
it.
say. We're about to go have some beverages and probably another shot in the boot.
So if y'all had one of those tequilas with us,
If you hadn't been to Cabo to catch a marlin, go get one. If you hadn't stabbed a hog, I'm going to tell you it's going to change your life.
challenge yourself, baby.
I dare you to start a podcast.